Woe is me. What's the matter, Chris? I don't know, media sensation and popular YouTuber Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Just sometimes I feel like, every time I shop online, I'm just paying too much and getting ripped off. That's pretty rough. If only there was some kind of free browser extension that automatically found the best promo codes and automatically applied them every time you shopped online.
'Cause you're everywhere to me.
You just described honey. What's honey, Neil deGrasse Tyson?
It's exactly what you described before. It's an extension that lets you pay less for shit.
Wow, dude, that means you always get the best deals without even trying on like 37,000 different websites like Amazon, Newegg, Best Buy, Walmart, and a metric fuck ton of others. Wow, guys, wow, I fucking love honey, dude. I just got a pizza for way less than I should have paid for it. It's fucking nuts. That's some wild shit.
But how do I, Dwayne "The Rock," install? How do I install that? I don't know.
Simple, you idiot. Just go to joinhoney.com/ChrisRaygun. And then you gotta click that, and then you click this, and then boom, you've installed it in just 2 simple clicks. It's so simple, even Jay Leno could do it.
Honey has over 10 million members, and the average Chris Raygun fan has saved at least $24 on average, with a total combined savings of over 200 grand?
Guys, I got a confession to make. I was you the whole time. I tricked you both. Guys, come on. There's absolutely no reason not to get honey for everything you buy online. It's free to use, installs in just 2 measly clicks, and they help support the channel. What are you waiting for, you insipid slag? Get honey for free at joinhoney.com/ChrisRaygun. I repeat, it's joinhoney.com/ChrisRaygun. Let's get on with the show. Hey everybody, Chris Raygun here. Welcome to another episode of Glasses Off. It's been a hot minute since we've done one of these. I'm really sick right now, so I apologize if my voice sounds unbearable as all hell. But bear with me. I'm trying my best not to die. But yeah, it's been a long time since we've done a Glasses Off, and I really like doing these videos because it's a really good kind of stream of consciousness. It's a good way for me to just kind of connect with my audience without worrying about production values and shit. It's kind of nice. It's kind of what YouTube should be, really, at the end of the day. Today I want to talk a little bit about the evolution of my channel and my stances, because for some reason, even though I've been pretty clear as to where I stand and what I do here on this channel, a lot of people, well, not a lot, some people seem to be confused. Back in 2014, when I started taking YouTube more seriously, I spent a lot of time talking about SJWs, and I think a lot of you are capable of understanding what I mean when I say that. I don't mean liberals with aversions to certain words. I'm a liberal with plenty of aversions to plenty of words, one of them being vegan. It makes my skin crawl every time I hear it. No, I mean liberals who say things like this. This is what I hate about black people. They preach about how we should support our own, but they are clowning out Soulja Boy for trying to break into a legitimate market. Everyday struggle is trash, especially academics. Now, the context of this, of course, is a rapper by the name of Soulja Boy, who recently started selling his own video game console in an attempt to break into the console industry. And quite frankly, he hasn't built anything. The console doesn't belong to him. He's actually straight up just selling a bootleg console from China with a bunch of illegal stolen games on it. So basically, he's pirating games and selling them for profit. It's absolutely psychotic to me that anybody on the planet at all thinks Soulja Boy is being made fun of because he's a black man trying to start his own business, and not because he's stealing things and selling them for a ridiculous markup. These are the kinds of people that I railed against back in 2014, and quite frankly, they're the people that I'm still pretty vehemently opposed to. But back in 2014, I delivered my content a little bit more seriously than I do now. I used to make video essays that outlined my specific position on contentious topics, because back then it really felt like there was no representation for people who thought all of this stuff was just ridiculous shit. It felt at the time like the point of view of the reasonable liberal, the liberal who understood the context of humor, who didn't get bent out of shape over every little thing, just wasn't being voiced. To the point where I thought I was crazy. Like, nobody else thinks this is ridiculous? Am I really the only person who thinks this is all really fucking wacky shit? It was super fucking alienating, but eventually I did come across, like-minded people, and that content became popular, and, that was that. Fast forward a year or two in late 2015, early 2016, and it became pretty clear that anti-social justice warrior positions, or whatever you want to call it, anti-PC notions, weren't as niche as they used to be. Many high-profile artists, high-profile content creators, all sorts of people were kind of joining in on the fun. Ethan and Gila started poking fun at the whole humongous situation. PewDiePie was starting to delve into similar topics. It's weird to think about now, but back in the day, back in like 2014, it really did feel like every single popular YouTube content creator, that's PewDiePie, that's Ethan and Gila, that's iDubbbz, that's all these people. Back then, it felt like all of those people would think, like, back then I felt like if those people saw me, they would think I was literally a Nazi. Like, that's how pervasive that attitude was, where you just thought everybody thought these things. But a lot of people were catching on to just how ridiculous these kinds of people were, and, you know, if they already thought that by mid-2016, most people felt at least more comfortable voicing that opinion than they did in years prior. And because of that, I no longer felt very compelled to just share my opinion in a serious way. It felt like representation for that point of view was already relatively commonplace. But what I did find was that there was a distinct lack of comedy-focused content based around these kinds of topics. A lot of channels back then really focused on making the point. It felt like a lot of them wanted to be teachers. I didn't want to be a teacher. I didn't want to teach anybody anything. I didn't want to share my point of view. I just wanted to make fun videos that people could quote to each other, that people could watch over and over again and still find stuff to laugh at, you know, stuff that was fun for me to make. And that turned out to be a very good move indeed. I apologize if there's a lot of jump cuts in this video. I'm pausing literally every couple of words to blow my nose. Is mucus supposed to be yellow? I started the musical series, I started the recap, I moved to LA to get people like Black God and Tom Sweeney more involved in the stuff that I was doing. I got Paul as a gift from an ex-girlfriend, and I figured out a way to use him as a way to collaborate with all sorts of people, because I figured, hey, you know, I want to collab with a lot of people, but what if people don't like the people I'm collabing with? Well, it's not going to be a big deal because it's just a voice for less than a minute of video. I always thought Paul was a fun way to collaborate with people without, you know, suffering from too much of the collab problem. And, you know, making the content was just fun. You know, I enjoyed it, the viewers enjoyed it, and that's really the perfect combination when you really get down to it. Fast forward to now, and I'm doing the PlayStation podcast every week. I just recently picked back up with the Snark Tank, and, you know, I'm making videos that probably take way too long to make, and I'm working on addressing that problem. I'm trying to cut down on the production time. But ultimately, I'm making videos that I'm really, really happy with, I'm really proud of, and that I have a metric fuck ton of fun making, so you know, I'm feeling pretty great. But the reason I wanted to talk about this today is because there are some people out there who think I'm just not anti-SJW enough anymore. You know, I'm not making a video every time I have an opinion on something. I'm poking some fun at, you know, some anti-SJW content creators, so, you know, I must be one of them now. I literally, like, tweeted about how, you know, oh, you know, there are some anti-SJWs out there who act just as triggered as, you know, SJWs act, and some dude made a 42-minute rant video about how I need to figure out what side I'm on and how I'm equating every anti-SJW with Anita Sarkeesian, which I never said ever, nor did I insinuate it. And of course, it's an anonymous dude with a fucking avatar with the fucking meme glasses. Of course, this is actually a stereotype. If I'm not making my opinion known about a subject, it's because I feel like most of the people who are familiar with my content can infer what my position would be based on all the previous content that I've made. My focus is entertaining my fans and viewers, and anybody who happens to stumble across this channel. My focus is not sharing my personal opinion on literally everything that happens, because quite frankly, I don't care about my point of view, and if I don't care, why should you? I think people prefer to laugh, and I think people prefer to have a good time, and I think, I think I'm at least somewhat decent at that, making people laugh. I don't know. Maybe sometimes. There's also this weird idea that it's out of character for me to insult anybody who wasn't a social justice warrior or anybody who isn't on the left. I don't understand this at all. One of my most popular commentary videos is a video in which I make fun of Ben Shapiro's garbage website and some writer on that site who insinuated that violent video games are inherently dangerous and they make you a worse person. Even way back in the day, I made a video making fun of InfoWars for saying that there's a villain in Logan named Donald and how that was inspired by Donald Trump, even though that character had existed in the comic book continuity for several decades. Idiocy knows no party lines, and I'm pretty sure I've said that verbatim before. Just because I'm also occasionally pointing out flaws in people who just so happen to slightly align with me politically or even slightly aligned with my opinions doesn't mean I'm the opposite thing. In the same way that pointing out occasional liberal outrage and pointing it out as ridiculous doesn't make me a fucking conservative. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Maybe you'll take me more seriously if I put fucking these on? Am I serious now? I'm going to save the West. So this video is like 43 minutes and it's really rambly and unfocused, so I'll go over some of the key points just because I think it's mildly amusing. So point number one, this dude thinks that Rockstar Games, the studio that recently made and put out Red Dead Redemption 2, is succumbing to what he calls SJW influence because of the various historical inaccuracies within the game that make the Wild West seem more woke than it actually was, and I guess I should be railing against this in some way, lest I be considered a hypocrite.
I take personal slight to this tweet by him, and others as well, because I'm the kind of person that is going to be in his mind, even though he doesn't know me. I'm the guy in his mind that is equivalent to SJWs, and the reason is that I look at, let's say, something like Red Dead, and I say, why aren't there any black suffragettes in this game? Why are the suffragettes offering rhetoric that the real ones didn't believe in? This doesn't make sense. Now, that being present in the game, what I do is I say, well, that's SJW influence.
My personal feeling is that any developer anywhere should be able to make whatever game they damn well please, any director, any movie, any author, any book. I support developers doing controversial things like Infinity Ward did in Modern Warfare 2, where they gave you a level called No Russian, where your objective is literally to mow down civilians with a light machine gun in an airport. I support that wholeheartedly. If you want to make that game, you go ahead. I have no fucking problem with that whatsoever. On the flip side, if you want to make a video game that's set in the Wild West, where characters adopt more modern viewpoints to be more relatable to a modern audience, that is also your prerogative. I have no issue with that either. As long as the game is good, I don't really give a damn what ideas you're exploring. I don't really give a damn what you do, as long as the game is fucking good. That's kind of what freedom of expression is all about in the first place, being able to talk about whatever the hell you damn well please, and that right extends to people with left-leaning viewpoints. Where this kind of thing does become an issue for me is when, a developer or an artist or, what have you, wants to explore a controversial topic or wants to explore a controversial idea, but then is forced via backlash to change that idea to succumb to a group of people who actually doesn't care about the product in the first place. Something that comes to mind immediately is, I don't know, if a game had, scantily clad women and it's just some guy who just wants to make a game with scantily clad women in it, and then, a bunch of people flip out about it. It's like, oh, that's sexism, that's objectification, and then they have to put more clothes on their women. That it's stuff like that. Like, that's stupid to me. Just let the guy make whatever fucking game he wants. But that goes both ways. If a developer wants to make a fucking woke as fuck game, let them make a woke as fuck game. As long as it's fucking fun, I'll play that game. I don't give a damn. I don't really know what to tell you, dude. Your criticisms are your criticisms, but I personally think Nakey Jakey's criticisms of Red Dead Redemption 2 are far more constructive and relevant critiques to the game than there's a black sheriff in the Wild West. That's not historically accurate. I don't know. I can't care about it. Point number two is that I'm dismissing SJWs and the power they have, and therefore I am weak.
And you're here downplaying these people, downplaying their influence, downplaying the control they have over goddamn everything. The reason why I don't like Jack, despite being on Patreon and being fine with the overall service, it's that he's banning people that are on my side, Sargon's side, maybe not your side anymore, fucking Chris. You need to figure out your shit. I don't give a damn what excuses you're gonna come up with for your own laziness and weakness. You need to figure out which side you stand on, because this continual dismissal of the people that are attempting to take away your friends' livelihoods, their careers, it's pathetic of you. You are weak.
I'm not dismissing their influence just because I make fun of people like you. Calm your titties, please. I feel like this is a point where I should probably roll a clip to point out that this is bullshit.
But here's the thing, as sensationalist and ridiculous as these headlines and these assertions are, there are people with influence who take that shit seriously. Like these articles aren't played for memes, they're not played for jokes. This is a genuine analysis.
This cerebral aneurysm is the most common type.
The fact that you're taking such an innocuous tweet so personally kind of reaffirms everything that I was saying in the tweet in the first place. Like, it confirms exactly what I thought. You ranted for 46 straight minutes about a single tweet that simply said, many anti-SJWs act this way now. Not all, not every, many. I didn't even say most. Like, what are you on about?
You gotta be aware of this shit. You can't just be dismissive. Like, I just don't get it. Like, no, the SJWs, man, like, what are they really doing? You know who's at fault? That guy in the comment section who's like, oh, fucking, feminism. You know, oh, man, fuck feminism. Lol, look at this, suffragette in Red Dead Redemption 2 getting fed to an alligator or pigs or something. Lol. That guy's the fucking problem. The guy in the goddamn comment section is the equivalent of Anita Sarkeesian meeting with developers, instructing them to do something in their game, and them doing it. That is the equivalent. Goddamn, Chris. Intellectual titan, Chris Raygun.
I literally never said any of that. So I don't know. I don't know how to respond to this. Like, I feel like I was supposed to feel offended by this video, but because he's attacking me for things I haven't said, it just comes across as really confusing and interesting. I also never claimed to be an intellectual. I would hate to take myself that seriously.
Philosophical titan, Chris Raygun. Guy that needs some counseling and some therapy, Chris Raygun.
Yeah, that is indeed true. I am going to therapy now. To treat my ongoing anxiety disorder that I've had since my sister was killed in a car accident when I was 7 years old. You really got me?
You want some genuine advice? Get the fuck out of California. That's my fucking advice for you. If you want to be a normal functioning person, get the fuck out of LA, get the fuck out of San Francisco, the Bay Area, get the fuck out of New York City, get out of Portland, and get out of Seattle, get out of these fucking SJW third world shitholes. Get out of those cities because they turn you into SJWs.
This is probably the weirdest criticism I've ever received ever in my entire life. If living in a city turns you into an SJW, does that mean like living in the sticks turns you into an alt-right neo-Nazi? Is that reasonable? I mean, I'm sure there are more right-wing loonies in the sticks than there are in cities, and I'm sure that there are more, crazy liberals in cities than there are in the sticks. But that doesn't mean it's fucking contagious. This is actually kind of amusing because back in 2016, when I hit 100,000 subscribers, I made a video where I drank bleach as a way to prepare myself for being poisoned by the social justice atmosphere of Los Angeles. But I don't know if you got the memo. That was a joke. I didn't think I would literally become poisoned by living in LA. Like, that's not... I mean, I am wearing sunglasses, so I do feel indoors. So I do... Maybe I am being infected with something. Tell you what, dude, I'll move to the suburbs. It's not the city. It's not the sticks. I'll be the ultimate centrist. Honestly, dude, I don't know. If anything, living in a city has put me into contact with more people with different perspectives than I ever would have come across had I not lived in a city. And I speak this way of both New York City, where I lived for a little while, and, Los Angeles. I've met many conservatives and many liberals and many progressives since I've lived in LA, and we all get along pretty damn well. Mostly because we all bond over our mutual hatred for this fucking stupid city. Where is your fucking public transport, for the love of cunt?
Get out of these cities. Get out of them, because they're terraforming and formatting people's minds to reflect every neurotic progressive around them. Well, you're telling people to stop being friends or to break up with people. And it's like, well, there is such a thing as unhealthy relationships. I've had abusive friends. I've been in relationships that were coercive. It's one of the reasons why I'm not very trusting as a person.
This is kind of the part where everything kind of comes into perspective for me. This guy thinks my friends are abusive because that's something that he relates to. That's something that he's experienced. That's something that he can, project onto me. He's never had the experience of living in a city surrounded by friends who love and respect you, even if they don't see eye to eye with you all the time. Honestly, I don't know what else to say about this fucking video. It uses my face as clickbait, but it's really kind of barely about me. He just he misquotes me. He tells me to abandon my friends like he knows them, and he calls me weak a few times. Honestly, I don't know. I honestly, I just needed a video for this honey sponsorship, and I figured this guy talked shit about me, so I might as well use it as leverage. Don't harass the guy, by the way. I know it goes without saying, but you don't change people's minds by berating them in their fucking comment section. It doesn't work. Trust me.
You are weak.
I hope this was at least, I don't know, slightly interesting for you guys. I don't know. There's a new recap coming in a few days. That's right, 3 videos in a month. You know, it's fucking crazy, right? It's a January miracle. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm gonna catch you on the flip side. Check out the merch store if you haven't already. I'm gonna be revamping it soon and getting rid of some of these designs. So if you want the Kill Me shirts and all those things, you know, they might come back. I'm not really sure. There's gonna be a huge overhaul. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna go pour fucking boiling water up my nostrils now. Jesus fucking Christ. You know, honestly, these sunglasses aren't too bad. They're kind of styling, if I do say so myself. I started this video very low energy, and then I ended being really awake, even though what time is it? 7:30 in the morning. Holy shit, I should sleep. I should go to bed.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah,
You're
right.
like,
actually like, huh, do you get this? I'm actually like, straight up real, by the way.
oh, hang on, my shadow's in the way. Sorry, my shadow's in the way of your blood.
Yeah, this isn't even like a joke.
Here, move your hand.
Son of a bitch. Fucking racism dog. Alright, we're good.